we have the true story of Smokey the Bear from 1964. This is 56 years old.
Wow.
Looks like maybe there's a printing from 1960. See, we got 60 and 64 down here. This is the 64 printing.
Yeah.
Dear reader, here it is, Smokey Bear fans. The story of Smokey's first thrilling adventure. As a vast fire sweeps through a tender, dry forest, 1,000 woodland creatures flee in terror. Behind them in the fiery holocaust, a bear cub is hopelessly trapped by the flames, with no chance for escape. That's the way it begins. Now read the rest of it. The exciting story of the orphan cub who grew up to become Smokey, the living symbol of forest fire prevention. Look, there's little Smokey. That's the real Smokey. That's a photo.
He's so cute.
He is cute, ain't he? There he is by his little promotional poster there. Little Smokey. There's little Smokey.
I not know Smokey the Bear was real.
Yeah. See, on the back here it says, break your matches, crush your smokes, drown your campfires. Be careful with every fire. Remember, only you can prevent forest fires. See, and there's all the animals, like, you gotta keep us safe.
Yeah.
I've something to tell you, a true story. It's the eagle telling it, huh?
Yeah.
And it happened not too long ago. It all started in one of our great western forests, right here in the Lincoln National Forest in New Mexico. It was hot that May. I remember seeing deer bed down in the shade of the pines. The trout hid along the cool stream banks. Even the butterflies were resting. I remember particularly a little brown-colored bear cub that would leave his mother while she was dozing. And he liked to play in the green meadow. As the month of May wore on, the green grass turned brown in the dry heat. The trout were becoming worried because the water in their streams was getting low. Sticks and pine needles were so dry they snapped like popcorn under his feet. Even the shade of the forest was no longer cool. Then the wind began to blow. It blew strong and hot and dry. The forest was ripe for disaster. Then it happened. Some careless person flipped a lighted match, or left his campfire burning, or forgot to crush out his cigarette. One careless person plus one little spark started the whole thing. Suddenly the little spark became a flame. Then, with the help of the wind, a patch of grass began to blaze. Quickly it spread until the flame became a roaring forest fire.
Oh, yeah.
It's bad, ain't it?
Yeah.
So see, you got to be careful when you're out camping or something. Make sure you put your campfires out and stuff, and not, do anything that's going to get the leaves on fire.
Yeah.
The man in the lookout spotted the rising smoke, and he quickly pinpointed the blaze. Then he called the ranger station. There's a big one starting up on Captain Mountain. Firefighters and heavy equipment rushed to the scene, but the going was pretty rough. A lot of hard work had to be done before the firefighters could get to the blaze. They're having to cut trees and stuff to get out of the way, to get their equipment out there.
Oh.
When they arrived, the bulldozers plowed wide fire lines, trying their best to stop the onrushing red fury. But the wind blew burning brush across the fire line, and the fire crossed the line. Birds and animals panicked as the flames roared along. In the heat and smoke, some were confused. So confused they ran straight into the fire.
So the animals just ran into fire?
Yep, some of them. Others tried to hide from the flame, but in vain. Animals ran as fast as they could from the fire. Even then, some did not make it, for the forest fire can sometimes outspeed a deer or a rabbit. More equipment and men were needed to stop the fire. ranchers and woodsmen joined the fire lines. Soldiers were brought in from Fort Bliss, Texas to fight the great blaze. They were all there fighting to end the work of just one careless person. Then another near tragedy occurred where 24 firefighters were battling a section of the flame. The fire in front of them was a ground blaze. They worked hard to build a line around it, but the wind began to increase. It blew stronger and stronger until great gusts were blowing at nearly 40 miles an hour. Then the fire jumped into the trees and surged towards them.
Oh my gosh.
The blaze swept toward the 24 men. The flame became unbearable. They ran to a rock slide and lay there face down. To keep from smothering, they put wet handkerchiefs over their face. The fire whipped towards them, but they hung on. The terrific heat made some men's clothing burst into flames. But whenever someone's clothing caught fire, the man next to him slapped it out. That'd be scary, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
They lay there for almost an hour as the fire raged by. When the smoke had finally cleared enough, they started getting up. 1, 2, 3, each man counted his comrades as they arose. Miraculously, all 24 had survived the flaming ordeal. Looking around, the only other living thing they saw was a badly burned bear cub. He was clinging, terrified, to a charred tree limb. Gently, they helped him down. So look, other than those 24 men, the only one there was that little bear hanging onto the tree.
Just Smokey. Smokey bleeding?
No.
Oh. Poor baby.
No, I mean, it said he was badly burned, so he had boo-boos. The men carried the little cub through the burned-out forest that was once his home. On his way out, the little cub saw the burned and disfigured trees that would never again offer cool shade to deer and other wild creatures. There was no grass left. No grass to feed animals or protect the soil from the heavy rains that would soon come. The trout no longer had a place to swim. The streams were choked with debris, wood ash, lie burned their mouths, poisoning many. The little cub saw many of his friends who were not as lucky as he.
Aww.
This had been a big forest fire and a great loss to our country. 5 days were required to get it under control. 5 days in which over 17,000 acres of timber were burned, countless animals killed, grass scorched, and the water producing and storage capacity of the land badly hurt. No longer would this part of the forest be fun to camp in. No longer was this forest a place fit to live or play in. So they took the small cub from his ruined home. Forest rangers, veterinarians, and wardens from the New Mexico Game and Fish Department treated his wounds and burns. His feet were carefully bandaged. Poor little buddy.
That was so sad.
He was fed baby food to stem his hunger. Day by day, the kind treatment paid off. He was getting better. Soon they were to take off his bandages. His hair grew back over his burn spots. He became well. Then the little black bear cub got a name. Smokey. That's perfect. We'll name him after the symbol of forest fire prevention. Well, how do you like your name, Smokey? The name stuck. Look, he's out walking. Hurry and see Smokey. He was becoming pretty well known. Since his home was destroyed, Smokey was put on a plane and flown across the country to the capital in Washington, D.C. On his way there, Smokey saw his former home, what was left of it. When he landed at the airport, he was met by press photographers and reporters. People crowded around to see Smokey. Smokey Bear. Hi, Smokey. Someone put a forest ranger hat on him, just like in the posters. And Smokey posed for some more posters. The results met with his approval. He got his cute little hat on. Now see, they draw him bigger, like an adult bear, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And he's really just a little tiny cub.
The posters were everywhere. Hey, look, it's Smokey. In the forest, in schools, on the street, everywhere you looked, there was Smokey looking at you. He even became a star on radio. Tonight I'd like to tell you the story of a bear, of Smokey Bear, and on television too. We'll have to look on YouTube and see if we can find some old footage of Smokey.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Soon he will get a new home in the Washington Zoo and he will never be lonely again. As Smokey grew up, he had something to tell folks, and he still tells them the same thing. Smokey tells them how he hates forest fires, how they destroy his animal friends, how they burn up timber that could have been used to make homes, perhaps a new home for you, how they waste wood that could have gone into furniture, or even to make paper to print comic books on. And Smokey tells how fire destroys good clean water that we need to make things live and grow, how it scorches the grass many animals need for food. Smokey wants to make sure everybody is careful in the forest with matches, holding them until cold, that every camper puts out his fire, dead out, that no cigarette is tossed on the ground but is crushed out. That's a lot of work for one bear. I thought I'd help by telling Smokey's story so you'd know why Smokey is out to end all forest fires. If we listen to Smokey, no other cub will suffer the way he did, orphaned, burned and made homeless by a fire. Let's all remember what Smokey says. Only you can prevent forest fires.
That's a cute book. That is cute. Also sad, though.
Yeah.
It is sad for Smokey.
Dear reader, please don't play with matches in the woods. Each year, thousands of forest fires are started accidentally by youngsters playing with matches in the woods. Beautiful recreation areas, valuable timber, and good fishing streams are often destroyed. These youngsters don't want to set fire to the woods. They wouldn't intentionally burn the homes of their wildlife friends. But still, the fires happen. A match held too long burns a finger and is dropped in the woods. A tiny play campfire is left burning and passing winds toss sparks into the surrounding forest. Keeping careless use of fire out of the woods is everybody's job. It's up to each of you to be careful and to make sure others are careful too. Please tell all your friends that playing with matches is playing with fire, and this can cause them a great deal of harm. Thank you, Smokey. Here's his little paw print.
Aww.
And look, these are all different flyers. They had different posters.
Aww.
It says, God gave us this. Don't you give us this. Repeat after me. I will be careful with matches. Repeat after me. With matches. With smokes.
With smoke. With smoke.
With campfires.
With campfires.
With any fire.
With any fire.
That says the same thing on that one. It says use care in burning. This guy's looks like he's burning some old sticks and whatnot. Prevent forest fires. Good outdoor habits for everyone. One careless match. Yours?
It's a cute book. It is.
Now you know about Smokey Bear.
Yep.
I always called him Smokey the Bear. But it looks like back in the day he was Smokey Bear.
That's what I think of him.
The Smokey Bear Campaign. Supported by your state forestry department and the U.S. Forest Service and is sponsored by the Advertising Council Incorporated. Designed, produced, and copyrighted 1960-1964 by Western Printing and Lithographing. All rights reserved. Printed in the United States of America.
I like how they added a little photo of him.
Yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, you got two little shots of him, huh? But that's a cute one, ain't it?
Yeah.
He's all little.
Sweet little baby. You're sweet of a baby.
What is this? Oh, that's his enclosure. That's his new home at that zoo.
Oh.
That's what his home looked like. Looks like maybe he shares it with something and there's a fence in between. So that would be his side, and maybe, yeah, see, there's another bear. There's two bears standing there, so he's got a friend.
Oh, that's nice.